Hi everyone. Okay, so it's JAMIEZEBRA23. So this is my stalker part 2. Somebody was knocking on my door and I got really scared because I'm talking about Will the stalker. So I'm like, what the fuck? But anyway, part 2. Okay, so the movie theater. We went to the movie theater. I saw him watching me while I got the popcorn soda. We were holding hands. In the movie theater, he kept staring at my hands in the dark. I don't know why. Okay. So then he starts telling me, a few days later that he's like an energy healer or that he does some sort of spiritual stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So somehow we're like chatting, but it just seemed like we were on a different page. So I mentioned, I'm dyslexic. So I mentioned to him I'm dyslexic. And he said something along the lines of, I think it's because you're biracial that you're dyslexic. I keep seeing a lot of mixed race, mixed with black and white biracial people with those kinds of issues. What the fuck? So that turned me off immediately. I'm like, Albert Einstein was dyslexic. George Bush is dyslexic. And those are both Caucasians. They are not mixed races. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, what? Okay, so then we have like a little bit of a falling out because in 2015, I was a little bit more of a brat than I am now. So, he stopped taking my calls. So I'd call him, he wouldn't message me. Then days later, he would answer me and I'm like, okay, like, now you want to talk? So I'm like mad and being vindictive and I'm like ignoring him. But I would always see his truck driving in and out of the parking lot. And I'm like, it couldn't be. No way. There's more than one truck that looks, no way. Then I see him outside Walmart. As you guys will know when you get deeper into the channel, at the time I only had one child. Now I have more. But the only child I had at that time has a disability. He has cerebral palsy. So we would go to a therapy center. And then at the therapy center, guess who I would see? That guy riding around. Oh, great. So at this point, though, by the time I see him lurking outside the therapy center, nobody goes there unless you've got like a special needs child. It's like a pediatric therapy center for like speech therapy, occupational therapy, aquatic therapy, all of that good stuff. Like you don't see single men lurking there. And keep in mind, this guy did not even live in the state that I was in. What was he doing there, right? So that's another thing that threw me through a loop. So when he saw me seeing him, he quick ducked down. But he had to circle back around because there was only one exit. He was caught. Okay, so now, so keep in mind, this is like mid 2016 that he's lurking outside the pediatric therapy center. Okay, so that's a year and a half that I have not spoken to this dude. No contact, no nothing. What is he lurking outside my kids' therapy center? And then 6 months before then outside Walmart, but everybody goes to Walmart, so I didn't think anything of it. Then, guess who I see sitting in the parking lot of my new townhouse? That guy. Supposedly, this man owns a business, this dude's pretty well off, supposedly. He wouldn't be living where I was living. You know what I mean? If he had that kind of means, he wouldn't have been living in that neighborhood that I was living in. Not that it was a horrible neighborhood back then, but I mean, most people don't say, I want to move to that neighborhood if they have the means, So it was just like, supposedly this man is a millionaire. What would he be doing at, $900 a month condos? Yeah, he wasn't, and why is he parked like directly at my back door? So I took a picture at this point. He saw me take a picture. And I didn't see him for about another year. Then I move to another state. And guess who I see? Well, first it was my siblings who spotted him with binoculars outside. Yeah. So I was like, it couldn't be. I don't believe it. I showed them the picture of the guy. They're like, that's the guy. That's the guy outside with the binoculars. That's him. They're like, where does he live? They didn't know that he was my stalker from back in Texas, where I was now in New York. They thought it was like some local dude. I'm like, well, the guy actually lives in Colorado, but he likes to stalk me in Texas and likes to stalk me in now apparently New York. Okay, so so I had that going on, and then of course, yes, guys, for those of you that are asking, did you contact law enforcement? I definitely gave them the picture. I gave them a tip, and hopefully this guy will stop. I haven't had an incident with this guy for a year, so I pray this doesn't happen anymore. I mean, the guy never threatened me. Oh, he's tried to contact me on Instagram a few times. I have another YouTube channel. The name of my YouTube channel is the name of my Instagram channel, my Instagram, and all of my other social media, including my website. So he contacts me on that channel and says, oh, what are you doing for a living? Like if he typed in my real name, that wouldn't show up. You have to know the name of my channel for it to show up. We wouldn't just be bumping into each other as friends. And I have all new phone numbers. So there's no way it was like, you know, I was in the phone book. And he's pretending like, oh, you know, I just ran across your Instagram. Yeah, your YouTube. And oh, what do you do on there again? Yeah, police. And he's even made like fake accounts to comment on my channel. I'm sure he's gonna find this one too and comment here. So hi, Will the Cancer, Will the Cancer. Not another Will the Cancer, because like I said, I know a few Wills. So let's not get it twisted. This Will is white, this Will has a beard, this Will has a white truck, this Will is a Cancer. Different Will. So for the other Wills, this is not maybe you stalked a little bit, but this is not you. All right, guys, JAMIEZEBRA23, ta-ta for now. Until next story time.